The following podcast is a Dear Media production.
Welcome back to another episode of and if you have kids in the car, turn it down, motherfucking podcast. I don't know. I really feel on one, and I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. Within the first 30 seconds of this podcast, Brantley left me half an Adderall, and I took it. Okay. And this is the first time Courtney's hearing this, and she's going to be mad at me. She's going to be mad at me. And so to counteract that, I'm really taking it back. I'm going to drink on the podcast. I did get permission from Brantley, even though she didn't buy this for me. Our other friend Mackenzie bought this for me. This is a wedding gift. This is like a very cool new thing that people are doing, which is getting these, like, I don't know if you can see if you're watching this. This is like a hand-painted Veuve Clicquot, is that how you say it, bottle that I got a few of these for our like wedding gifts. And it's really stunning and gorgeous because you can tell they are literally hand-painted with like a couple of them have like pictures of me and James on them. This is like a beautiful monogram. And one time I made fun of James because my mom was in town. She wanted some champagne, because she's Sharon K. And love that about her. And James, I had asked him to get some champagne and then he didn't. And I was like, why didn't you do exactly what I fucking told you to do before my fucking mom comes to town? Sorry, I can tell the Adderall's taking effect. And he was like, we literally have 3 bottles. I was like, where? He goes, we have 3 bottles of nice champagne. I go, where? And he pulled these out, these hand-painted bottles. And I said, my God, you don't open those. They stay as decoration. And he was like, why? And I was like, because they're not. Then I thought about it and I was like, wait, he's like the bottle's the decoration. It's, you can open them. So anyways, here we go. I fear this is like going to actually like do that really. I'm not, you know how some people make it their whole personality that they're scared to open champagne. I'm not, but I do feel like this one's been tossed around and traveled with a lot. So I do feel like it's about to bust it wide open. Hold on. I'm scared. Okay. We did it. I'm an adult. I'm someone's mother. Okay. I should be able to open champagne. Anyways, missed that. Welcome back to Probably a Podcast. This is going to be a solo like no other, except for it's going to be just like every other solo where I am just literally talking about everything and nothing at all. It's a gift. It's a gift. Okay. All right. So it's been a minute since we've had a solo podcast because I've been out here having guests on the pod, and someone actually led with, which I don't know if I always like put a Q&A, like, what do you want to hear me talk about on the podcast? And then people sometimes are like, that's cheating. And I only say that there's just one podcaster that posted that one time and was like, it's cheating to do that. And I was like, it's really stuck in my head because I guess it's my own personal insecurity, but like, no, it's not. It's not cheating to ask the people what they want. Why would that be cheating? Anyways, I love her. So I hope she doesn't listen to my podcast. She probably doesn't. She's a very busy woman, but, I asked and someone was like, what do you think the future of this podcast is? And it's funny because Courtney was just asking me that. And I did want to take this moment to say that I am quitting. Psych! I have so many bills to pay. You guys can't even begin to understand. No, I would never quit the podcast. I was talking to Courtney about like my future endeavors with like life and career. And I said, like, I just don't see a world where the podcast ever stops. Like, it would feel so weird. Like I like genuinely couldn't come on to be like, hey, I'm making an announcement, I'm quitting the podcast, and like honestly like replay the tapes if I ever end up quitting. Y'all are like, I said you could never quit. But it just feels like I could quit everything else, but I have to keep this going. You know, don't you agree, Courtney?
I agree.
She agrees. Okay. Anyways, that's the future of the podcast. I have thrown 3 things in an attempt to make it into that trash can, and not one has made it. This episode is sponsored by Skims. Guys, I tried the Fits Everybody thong from Skims and I am converted to wearing underwear again. I was kind of a commando girly, but the feeling is like no other underwear I've ever worn before. Thongs used to honestly just bother me so much. Don't even get me started about pregnancy. Just no, didn't do them. But throughout the day, honestly, I just couldn't stand it. But this fabric melts onto the skin and you will forget that you're even wearing it. Everyone should experience this level of comfort in their life. Shop Skims Fits Everybody collection at skims.com. After you place your order, be sure to let them know that I sent you. Select podcast in the survey and be sure to select my show in the drop-down menu that follows. And if you're looking for the perfect gift for everyone on your list, the Skims holiday shop is now open at skims.com. So I wrote down some things that I thought we could talk about in general, just on solo. First things first, my birthday was this past weekend. Now, an exciting part about my birthday is that it is the worst birthday you could ever have. I would say, okay, if you could go top 3 worst birthdays to have, obviously Christmas, obviously Actually, New Year's Eve would be kind of lit. I'm obsessed with people having weddings on New Year's Eve so that it gives you something to do. I do think as a child, a New Year's Eve birthday would be really like not fun. James's birthday is a day after 4th of July. I think any like national holiday, if your birthday was on, is like kind of a bummer during like childhood phase because people can't come to your birthday parties or whatever. You're probably not in school, so you can't have like a school celebration. That was me I was almost always out of school on my actual birthday. I don't think almost always. I think every single time I was never at school. And like, you know what a flex it is when you walk into that bitch and you're in like 3rd grade and everyone's like, it's her birthday today. And the teacher like gives you a cupcake or you like, maybe you can bring something because your mom lets you like bring something to the class for your birthday. And you're like, that's that bitch's birthday. Like that's the motherfucking birthday girl right there. I never got that in my schooling years, which was sad. But furthermore, why I think I have a shitty birthday is because every 6 years, every 6 or 7 years, my birthday falls on Thanksgiving. And as an adult now, I don't really care. It's like fine, whatever, because I'm just an adult. But it really was such a point of contention when I was growing up and in college and in high school. And it still is not that fun just because I love to celebrate. Well, now that I'm married and I have a family, I'll always have like my actual core group with me on my birthday, no matter what. But for the most part, my birthday always falls on Thanksgiving Day, the day before Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving, 2 days before Thanksgiving when everyone's already gone home for fucking Thanksgiving, or literally like another shitty day within that realm, okay? And every 6 years it falls on a Saturday, a week away from Thanksgiving. Now, this is when shit gets crazy because I literally send out bat signals being like, this only happens every 6 years. You motherfuckers strap the fuck in and celebrate me to the nth degree. So this was that year. Actually, I'll have to share my invitation that I sent out to my like 9 friends. That was like, hey, it's not gonna happen again until 2031 birthday. Everyone show up with your party pants on. Now, something that Jenica, one of my dear friends did, she did show up with her party pants on. Something that I did, I said, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go home after this dinner and I'm gonna go to sleep. And she was like, I thought we were gonna dance on elevated surfaces. And I was going to, and I had every intention to. A couple things. One, I was so sleepy. I'll tell you more about that because I had the CMA Awards and I went to them and oh my God. I took another recreational Adderall. Who am I? A drug addict. Anyways, I stayed awake till 2:30 in the morning. I'll talk about that. But basically, yeah, I was like, I can't. I simply cannot. And one thing about my husband, he is so fucking iconic. You know those motherfuckers that are like, who's watching the baby? And it's like, would you ask that to the father? You would assume the mother was watching the baby. Although James does say that people are like, where's Daisy with Shannon? He's like, I hope. Yeah. James has been so wonderful watching her and letting me go out with my girlfriends. I kind of decided a couple years ago to stop inviting boys other than Kyle and Mark, and any boys that I actually like to, my husbands to my birthdays because like once you start inviting the couples, well, once your person comes, like your husband comes, then it's like, you know, all the other girls are like, oh, should I invite my boyfriend, my husband, and the numbers start ticking up really quick and no one's trying to have a 20-person dinner. That's fucking annoying for everyone involved. Okay. Everyone involved, the checks, it's just too much. 2, like, I don't want them there. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? James took me to a beautiful, gorgeous little birthday lunch. It was so fun. It was so lovely. And then it was time for him to scram, you know, get out of here. All right. So anyways, on my birthday, I had a couple options. Now I have I'm going to jump around a lot as one does. I'm also probably going to burp a couple times. Don't leave a review about it because I'm drinking champagne. So anyways, because Dear Media really tells me that kind of stuff. One time I was eating hungover on the podcast and they were like, there was like feedback, like stop eating on the podcast. And I was like, I did it one time. What the fuck? Anyways, so it's my birthday. I'm turning 32. I turned 32. You know, all right. 32 is like you're officially... I didn't actually feel this way with 31. 30 is so fun, right? I'm 30. It's your 30th birthday. Blah, 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 iconic. 31 is like so close to 30, like still cool, whatever. Boring, but still cool. 32 is the age in which I do feel, and I'm not calling myself old. I'm not calling you old if you're 32 or older, whatever. But I think you could agree. It is the age where you start feeling like you're definitely like an older person. You know, you're not like one of them kids. You're not like a crazy cool. It's like it's at a point in your life where you're just kind of like, I need to act like my age. I did not feel that way at any other age. 27, don't care to act like it. 28, 29, 30, don't need to act like it. For some reason at 32, I'm like, bitch, act your age or 32. And it really has nothing to do with becoming a mother. I'm also going to talk about outfits, and my personal style is going to stay completely the same. But it's so funny because I ordered a bunch of like really slay stuff for the CMA Awards. So one of my new friends, Danielle, that's right, I have a new friend. It was actually really scary. I don't recommend. I am team no new friends. I have enough friends. If you meet me out in the wild, please talk to me. Please come up to me. But like, I can't promise that we'll ever be dear friends. I simply don't have the capacity. Okay. So I have created this new friend. It happened out of the blue. You know, we got introduced from a mutual friend and I just adore her. Okay. Her name's Danielle. She's lovely. And anyway, she very sweetly invited me to the CMA Awards. Now I haven't been to the CMA Awards in Nashville in a very, very long time. It used to be the old Nashville. Let me bring it back for a second. I am obsessed with the Fits Everybody collection from Skims. I'm actually staring at a box that I ordered from Skims because I was going to wear a bunch of stuff to the Sabrina Carpenter's concert. Ended up not wearing feathers and fur from Skims, but you know what I did do? I placed another replenishing order for their Fits Everybody collection. I could buy everything every time from them. Like, they did not have to ask me to sponsor and work with them. I would beg them. I love Skims so much. And I was honestly like not sure of the hype when it first came out, but I'm telling you guys, it is iconic. The Fits Everyone collection is genuinely like it says. It fits everybody, and it's nothing like I've ever tried before. The intimates, they just fit and feel so smooth, and they really do just kind of like melt and mold onto your body. Kind of just feels like you're wearing nothing at all. I am obsessed. Been wearing them for a couple years now, and I honestly just love every bit of it. And the Everybody thong from Skims, that's the one, and I had talked about it before, but I kind of like was just going commando because I couldn't stand the feeling of thongs. But these just make you feel like you don't have anything on at all, which is iconic. Now, they also have a Fits Everybody triangle bralette. I'm a bit of a bralette connoisseur because I have a bit of a smaller chest now that I'm not breastfeeding anymore. And I've honestly always had a smaller chest. And I got the Fits Everybody triangle bralette, and I'm amazed because I'm so picky about my bralettes. The band provides this like amazing support and lift, but I don't feel like I'm suffocating into one of those tiny little triangles. It's amazing. I don't know what kind of magic they put into this fabric at Skims, but it is like nothing that I've ever felt before. So if you guys want to shop Skims Fits Everybody collection, go to skims.com. Now, don't forget, after you place your order, you got to let them know that I sent you, okay? Select podcast in the survey. Be sure to select my show in the drop-down menu that follows, okay? Probably podcast. And if you are looking for the perfect gifts for everyone on your list, the Skims holiday shop is now open at skims.com. It used to be when I first moved here 10 years ago, the CMA Awards, you would get all dressed up as if you went to the awards, right? On purpose. You would wear something like really ridiculous on purpose to try to either go to an after party and pretend that you were at the awards, which you did not get invited to, or maybe you would go to a watch party, in which case you would dress up for the watch party. But for the most part, I never had any connections of any way, shape, or form to ever get in. So me and my friends would sneak in. We would like try to get someone to let us on the list at the last second. We try to like ask someone who like used to run the lighting for an artist at a music video one time to like make up a lie that we were there to work, or we had media passes. Like, we were always trying to like finagle our way in. And honestly, 9 times out of 10, it motherfucking worked. Okay. So it's been a minute since I actually like went and did CMA activities. I keep wanting to call it CMA Fest. It's the CMA Awards. Okay. You know, country music's Grammys basically. So I get invited very legitly from my new friend, who is very legit in the world, okay, of music in Nashville, to be your plus one to a really fun watch party and a really bougie fun after party. And then my dear friend Margot, who you guys all know and love, she was in town and she was doing the red carpet. She was doing all kinds of fun stuff. And she got me on another list for an after party. I was like, oh my God, slay, 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 slay. I cannot stress this enough. It is literally not what you know in this life. It is who you know. Okay. Quit studying, kids. Just cut it out. Just go out there and start networking. So anyways, I am so excited for this, but I'm like, what am I going to wear? Because obviously I am freshly postpartum. I'm going to take a page out of Claudia's playbook and say that until Daisy's 2 years old, I'm freshly postpartum. Okay. Like me, freshly postpartum. I do think at 10 weeks, don't you think 10 weeks is still like you say you're postpartum, right? You know, I think if you're still breastfeeding, you're definitely postpartum, which we also need to talk about breastfeeding. But anyways, so I'm ordering outfits because I don't hate myself, and I'm not going to just try on stuff that I already own because I don't hate myself. I did try on a couple things I own. And you know what it led me to do? Hate myself. I hate myself. Why, Shannon, did you even try? You know, you see yourself naked. You know you're not going to fit into these outfits. But I was like, well, maybe just, and there's nothing more, humiliating is not the word. degrading stuff. What is the word I'm looking for? The word is disappointing. Defeated is the word. There's nothing more defeating than when I convince my husband that you can zip this up. This will zip up. And he's like, bless his heart. He's using every word, but like this won't zip. He's like, oh, I think, this side, it's a little, like he's just basically trying not to tell me like, bitch, this dress don't fit you. And so I'm like, really putting him in a tough spot there. Cause I'm like, get it, zip it. And like, God forbid he say like, it won't zip, because then it's his fault it won't zip. All right. It's his fault, not my body. It's his fault. So anyways, I tried on a couple things, the new boobs, like, it's not working. And then like, I do think one of my friends who's also freshly postpartum, she was like, do you feel like your body got wider? And at first I was like, no, but I do kind of low-key feel like my rib cage got a bit wider. Is that a thing? Can I fact check that on ChatGPT, or do you just know because you're a mom? That seems logical, right? Like I truly actually think my rib cage got a bit like larger. I also do feel like, are you saying, yeah, that is a thing?
Cage is normal for them to be slightly wider after.
Yeah, hips and rib cage slightly wider after childbirth. Plus, I will say this, as you guys know, because I can't stop talking about it. It's like my newest pick me thing to say that I had a baby that's over 9 pounds. I can't stop saying it. I told Taylor the other day, I was like, I hear myself saying it to get like applaud. Like I know I'm saying it to get people to be like, no way, you had a 9-pound baby. How? Like I feel myself doing it and I can't stop. I cannot stop. I literally ran into someone on the street yesterday and I was with Daisy and she was so sweet and she was like, oh my God, and it's so good to see you and she's so beautiful. And I was like, I know, and 9 pounds. You guys, it had nothing to do with the conversation. She wasn't asking about birth. She wasn't asking how she was sleeping, eating. She wasn't saying she's a cute little chunk. Nothing. I just had to blurt it out. I had to say it. Okay. So pick me. She's nothing if not self-aware. Anyways, I do feel like I've gotten like slightly wider there. Shit wasn't zipping. So I ordered a couple things offline and they came in. I tried them on. I sent the videos to my friend Danielle. I said, I cannot in good faith wear any of these options to the CMA Awards. Let me tell you why. To the after parties, to the events we were going to. I said, these are so short. And you guys, I will until it's genuinely inappropriate, I will be wearing the shortest fucking dresses you can ever imagine. I will be the girl that someone has to sit down one day and say like, it's just not age appropriate. You know what I mean? Like you're just too old to wear these things. I don't know who it's going to be and who I'm going to have to like fucking scalp when they say that, but it's going to happen. It's probably going to be like my mother or someone that just like can get away with saying it. And all that to be said, I ordered lots of sexy dresses because like I am hot. Why can't I wear hot things? They came in, they were just too like, they weren't even slutty. They were classy outfits. Like, they were just too short. Like, I was just embarrassed. I said, I can't wear this to the CMA Awards. Like, it's not a look. And I realized I had this like aha moment. I called Taylor and I said, there was a time in my life not so long ago where I would have worn this to the CMAs after parties and stuff. Everyone would have been staring at me and like giving me maybe some cross looks. And I would have thought, you want to be me. You literally are looking at me like that because you wish you were me. I now realize that they would be looking at me like that because they'd be like, why is that girl showing her labia? Like, that is just too short for the environment, for the atmosphere, for the vibe, for the people, for the whatever. It's just like, there's just a time and a place, and I'm really understanding that. And I was like, wow, there was a time I would have put this dress on because, by the way, all 3 dresses I ordered, though they looked fucking sick on me. But I was like, these are just wholly inappropriate. Like, I cannot wear these. I cannot wear these. So I ended up wearing a dress that I actually already owned that was very stretchy, and I had Spanx on to the point that I literally wanted to like throw up. I could not even hardly drink because I was so taut in the Spanx, but whatever, I looked great. And so I went to the CMAs. I got home at 2:30 in the morning. I had such a good time. We were just gallivanting around, and me and my new friend are just like yapping the whole time. I'm seeing so many people I know. I'm like obsessed with hanging out with Margot and her friends. She has this friend Houston who I just thought was so fun. Like, we're just having the best of times, right? We're taking photos, we're just girling it out, you know? I smoked a cigarette. And my new friend did call me out for not inhaling, and that's one thing I don't do with cigarettes. I don't inhale, but like, I'm not smoking a cigarette because I want the nicotine. I'm smoking a cigarette because I want to like look like I'm smoking a cigarette, you know? And she did say like, you're not inhaling those. And I was like, no, I'm not. And she was like, right. Okay. So just to be clear, you asked to come out here to smoke a cigarette. And I was like, I know, but I don't inhale. You guys know how stressful the holiday season can be, between travel, you got gifts, you're hosting. I'm hosting Christmas this year. Okay. I love it. There's nothing more than I love than entertaining and hosting, but I will be the person to complain about it right before I do it. Okay. And it's just easy to lose sight of your money and financial responsibility this time of year. Everything kind of goes out the window. That's why I love that I have Monarch Money, because it keeps all your finances under control this holiday season when you use Monarch. It's rated Wall Street Journal's best budgeting app of 2025. Now, Monarch is the all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean interface on your laptop or your phone. It's really user-friendly. I was not down with trying to use a budgeting app that was really complicated, because budgeting is already complicated to me. Money, this is a finance podcast, but money and me are confusing sometimes. So Monarch makes it easy. And right now, just for my listeners, Monarch's actually offering 50% off your first year, which is amazing. I really didn't realize how quickly I was blowing through my holiday budget. Now that I have a husband, he makes us budget, which is womp, womp, womp. But at least, we're doing some good here. And Monarch kind of really showed me everything. It was a real wake-up call. It made me stop and adjust my spending before my credit card bill arrived, because I used to be that person that just kind of adjusted after I saw the hefty bill. But now I kind of can adjust and maintain this before you have to pay that dreadful bill. It's just amazing. They have so many different tools inside the app. It's built for people with busy lives. You're not going to just sit here leaving money on the table, because when you're making good money, it's easy to get complacent. You don't need to track every dollar. I was I'm not trying to have every single dollar tracked, but ignoring your finances can honestly really cost you. So use Monarch. Like I said, it's very user-friendly. They have so many extra access to financial advisor at no cost. It can really give you just 100% transparency on all of your finances, which I love. So don't let this financial opportunity slip through the cracks. Use code probably at monarch.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarch.com with code probably. Also, uncategorically lovely weather for my birthday and for CMAs. Usually CMAs and my birthday fall around the same time, and it is frigid, cold, raining, nasty, awful, and the weather's been really nice. So fast forward, I get home at 2:30. Oh, I ran into my best friend's ex-boyfriend. I was hammered. Read him to filth. Okay. Margot looked at me and said, "Are you going to get in trouble for that by your best friend?" I said, "I can't tell if she's going to say that I am the most iconic person to ever exist, or if she's going to go, why the fuck would you say any of that?" Anyways, read him to filth in a fun, lighthearted way, but in a way that I know he'll also low-key be thinking about the things I said. You know what I mean? He'll be like, she was laughing, but saying really horrible things. Oh, I love being me sometimes. So yeah, I did that. That was fun. And then we just had a jolly old time, and I got home at 2 a.m, 2:30. And here's the thing about me. One thing about me and drinking, I will drink the appropriate amount of water. I will stop drinking at a certain time. I am not the girl who keeps going. It's why I'm so good at drinking, because I usually drink a large amount on the front end, and then I switch to water, and then I just coast. Here's a great idea, guys. If you're drinking in your life right now, drink a fuck ton so that you get drunk, and then enjoy your drunkenness and just drink water. You will stay drunk for so long. I promise you. You will stay drunk for just long enough that then you will come down, and then you'll feel yourself being buzzed, and then you'll still be drinking water. Okay, hydrate. And then you will most likely on your way home be kind of low-key not drunk anymore, but still drinking lots of water and maybe still a little drunk. You go to sleep, you don't spin, you don't throw up, you don't wake up hungover. It's amazing. Now let me tell you something. And I know I didn't crack the code on that one, but if you can try, I don't know. Some people just can't. Once they start going, they start going. I am not someone who at 3 a.m, if you're let's do another shot, I'm for literally what? Why would we do another shot? We're going to go home soon. Why would I want to waste all my drunkenness home in bed spinning around in my head? I hate that. So anyways, I do everything right like I knew I would drinking. So here's what they don't tell you about being a mother. You can't go to sleep at 2:30. You can't go to sleep at 2:30. And I'm going to say something that everyone says not to say. And I'm going to knock on all the wood in here. My baby's sleeping almost through the night. Okay. So it's not even I'm up every hour. I am up. And by the way, James was you sleep. I'm going to do the 5 a.m. feed. That's what she goes to bed at 7 right now, currently. As of right now, I don't want to piss off the sleeping gods. Right now, she goes to sleep at 7 p.m. She wakes up at 5 a.m. Okay. 5:30, sometimes 6. And James had already told me I'll put her down to sleep. I'll wake her up in the morning. You're good. Go have fun. Stay out late. Have a great time. And I did. And he did wake her up at 5:30, but the whole day, a wash. I have a nap schedule for her. I have a feeding schedule for her. I was me, you, and mommy, we're not doing any tummy time. Who needs it? Okay. Looking at black and white contrast photos to make sure my baby's the smartest baby in the world. Not happening. You're going to sleep on my chest. You're going to contact nap. I'm not doing anything other than just like the whole day was a wash. It was a complete and total wash. And the CMA Awards happened in the middle of the week. So like, it was just a random Thursday that I definitely had shit to do and twas not done. So anyways, that is probably what prompted my birthday for me to be like, you guys, like, I just simply, like, I was even stressed that we had an 8 p.m. reservation. We had a reservation at this new restaurant, Craig's, that came to Nashville. That's from LA and from New York, I think. And it came to Nashville. It's just like a baller restaurant. By the way, shouts out Tinks. I did ask if they had the Tinks Sundae. Tinks is such a legend that she literally has a Sundae named after her at Craig's, which is like the most bougie, like, who's restaurant in LA, and there's this giant sundae that you can get called the Tink Sundae. And never forget when me and Tinks had one-sided beef on me. I just was sad at her. And she blocked me. I podcasted about it, and then I went to Craig's and someone ordered this massive, huge, gorgeous sundae with like firecrackers and like all this crazy shit. I was like posting it all over my Instagram, and everyone's like, that's the Tink Sundae. And I was like, oh my God. Oh no. And then I was like, does this look like I am so cool I don't care, or does this look like I'm like doubling down? Because like I feel like this is going too far now. Anyways, so yeah, went to Craig's. It was so much fun. I had like the perfect time. I wore one of my really slutty dresses that I didn't wear to the CMAs. I wore it for my birthday. It was much more birthday coded, and you guys will be proud of me. I bought this dress that was so overpriced. Like I cannot even express to you. It was this designer named Alex Perry. Gorgeous dresses. Gorgeous sequin dress, and it was like the most birthday iconic dress ever, and I didn't wear it because I thought I can't justify this. Like, I'm going to dinner, I'm 32, this is not for like a red carpet moment, like it's just your birthday, you're just going to Craig's in Nashville, like you need to return this. And so I returned the dress, and I'm really proud of myself because there was a time where I would have been like, it's my birthday, fuck it. And I was like, you like have to spend your money like slightly more wisely. All right. Things that I haven't stopped doing since having a kid: shopping. I thought having a child would make me care less about stuff. Nope. I still want stuff, and I still want things. The love of your child should be enough. It is in other ways. Okay. I still want the Chanel bag. Okay. Sue me. Also, having a daughter did not help because I was like, I'll pass this down to her. She's probably going to want nothing of mine, but whatever. Okay. Drink break. For my birthday, you know what I did do that was so strange this year? Every year I never know what to get. And I will say, for someone who's like me, I will buy myself whatever I want, but I do not ask for birthday gifts from other people. And they're always like, what do I get you? What do I get you? And I'm like, please, nothing. Like I have everything I could possibly want and need. But as far as like, and my poor mom, my mom's like, what do I get you? And I'm like, Mom, please don't. Like, just like, you flew here and you stayed with me for 12 days after my birth. Like you do everything for me. You listen to every single one of my stupid phone calls when I call you a million times a day. Like, I don't need a birthday present anymore. But she like always finds something random to give me. She got me this hand massager off Amazon. It's like actually pretty fucking big. It's literally like the size of one of these like coffee table books, and you put your hand in it and it like massages your hand. So fucking weird and random. Loved it. I said, great job, Mom. Love that. Oh wow, really on a hand journey here. I asked James because he was like, what do I get you? And I do say to James, I know you feel the need to like go above and beyond and get me something really extravagant. Now for my push present, I said, get me a diamond band for my ring. He said, oh, okay. Yes, sir, Sergeant, sir. But I'm like, I know he feels the need to go above and beyond for my gifts, and I just don't need him to. I would so much rather him write me a really, really thoughtful, sweet letter or note. And I do always, because I like save those, and I do always ask him to do that. And he does usually always get me that. I said, you know what? When we go on our walks in the morning, my hands are always cold, but I don't want like to put a pair of ski gloves on. I have a really gorgeous pair of Prada leather gloves, but like that's too much for the morning walks. Like I need a really nice pair of like soft cotton or cashmere gloves. And I was like, cashmere, that's a nice thing to ask for your birthday that lasts forever. Like, can I get will you get me some cashmere gloves? He's like, sure. You know, they're like under $100. And I'm like, to me, I buy myself the absurd shit. It makes me slightly uncomfortable when James buys it for me, or like a friend or something. Like, I don't know how to explain. I'm like, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. Now, I don't know why I just lied to you guys in this podcast because, James has bought me plenty of things over $100 and I'm obsessed with it. So yeah, I just lied to your faces. This birthday in particular, I was like, we're doing a lot. We just had a baby. We're doing so much stuff. Like we want to redo stuff to the house. Like, please, like these gloves are great. He asked me what size. Tell me why I went out of my way to get a ruler and everything. This is if you want to buy Cashmere gloves. I got a ruler because this difference in sizing between the small, the medium, and the large is half an inch. I have long hands. I don't have big hands, but I have long hands. And there's nothing more annoying than a pair of gloves where your like fingers can't stretch out all the way. And I did the math and I like measured my hands and I was like, well, I'm probably a small, but the difference being half an inch, like why not just get the medium? You guys, I said for him to get me the medium. As soon as I took them out of the package, I thought those look kind of big. They're literally sitting right there because I have to return them. They fit James. James put them on. He was like, babe, these fit me. And I was like, why did I say to get a medium? Get a small. Get the size small. I can't stop talking about this. The Face Foundry place is so cool, guys. Face Foundry is like this open concept focused facial bar. It's offering efficient, effective services for all things face. Now, I know we all love a good facial, but sometimes going to get a facial, getting your brows done or getting your lashes done or whatever, it can just feel like a whole thing. Like we love self-care, but sometimes I don't have the time for self-care. Enter, boom, me not getting my brows and lashes or a facial done for months at a time because I just don't have the time. But at Face Foundry, they provide affordable, results-driven facial, layouts, and brow services in an affordable and excessive time frame, which I love. Think results-driven services in under an hour. And because of that, because they're making this speedy but effective, it's going to be at a fraction of the cost of a traditional spa. Now, facials should be a part of your routine, not a rare indulgence. And that's what I was kind of making them. I was like, oh, only when I have the time to really indulge for hours, blah, blah, blah. No, Face Foundry helps you actually keep up with it by having affordable pricing, quality services, and hours outside of 9 to 5, including nights and weekends. I think that's so cool. Sometimes you kind of like almost feel like you have to take a day off for all these self-care appointments, but not at Face Foundry. They have so many different working hours that really help out. They can tackle all your skin concerns. They've got like acne, dryness, you name it. And they offer fan favorite services like cryo, dermaplaning, and 65 locations nationwide. Makes it really easy to book wherever life takes you. Self-care days and special occasions. If you're out of town and you're like, shoot, I really need to get my brows done, my lash done, I guarantee you can find a Face Foundry location in your area. They have so many different things. Like I said, lash lifts, tints, brow laminations. They've got this open facial bar with high-end results. No robes and cucumbers and all that kind of stuff. It's just efficient and effective services while maintaining a relaxing experience, which I love. So if you guys want to visit facefoundry.com and use code probably at checkout, you'll get 20% off your first service. I have used my own code. I love it so much. That is facefoundrie.com. Use code probably for 20% off your first service. That's facefoundry.com, code probably. Something I'm thankful for, because this episode comes out after Thanksgiving, so why not talk about some things I'm thankful for. Can I tell you guys a pet peeve I have? I don't know if you do this, Courtney, and I'm really sorry if you do. And if you do this and you're listening, I don't know how to tell you. I hate when people do this. Do you know when someone stumbles over their words and they go blah, 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 blah? You are such a fucking loser. I don't know how to explain. I don't know if it's like you learn it in like I did like musical theater and like random shit like public speaking and like early on, and they tell you like if you ever stumble over your words, never go like blah, 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 blah. Sorry, let me back that up. You never go blah, blah, sorry, blah, blah, sorry. I hate when people do that. Just fucking keep it moving, dude. Just keep it moving. You don't need a blah, 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 blah. Like you already fucked up. Don't do some weird mouth thing now. Just say like, sorry, can't speak, and keep going, or whatever. Sometimes you don't even have to say that. Sorry, I just thought about that. Hate when people do that. Okay, so gloves. Oh, something I'm thankful for, my birthday. Shouts out to Brantley motherfucking Herndon, Big Dick Brant, for coming from South Carolina to Nashville, Franklin, for my birthday. Like, your friends that just show the fuck up. I so appreciate that. I know everyone can't, and it's not like I'm not dogging anyone that couldn't fly in for my birthday. It's just such a treat to have a friend that's like, your birthday? Yeah, sure. Wouldn't miss it. I'll fly in. And like, yeah, sure. I'll stay with you and your baby who's like, at an age where sometimes she's crying. Sometimes I can't go out and do stuff. It's not the same, trip that she used to take whenever she'd come here and we'd like get lady titties and just hang out and just boof around. Now it's like, we're just sitting on my couch with my baby and she's like, couldn't be happier. And I'm just so thankful for her. She's such a good friend, true and true, always has been, always will be. Like, major shout out to the friends that just show the fuck up. And you know what's even funnier still? My dear friend Colleen, we did like a birthday night. Sound off in the comments. Do y'all hate this or love this when someone says on your birthday, everyone go around in a circle and say one thing you love about that person, or one thing that you like? Colleen does it cool. She says one word to describe that person, which I think that's a nice little take on it. Anyways, she always does that. And we did that. And Brantley did say for me, she said, first of all, don't you dare ever invite me to a birthday party and like make me do public speaking again. I said, that was not me. That was not me. And she was like, prepare me ahead of time. I said, I didn't know. I knew Colleen was going to do that. Anyway, she said that my word for me to describe me was a phrase, and it was shows the fuck up. But like, that's the word for her. Like, I just saw this post that Tinks posted, and I saw another person post it. John Christ on his podcast did like a video reaction to someone saying this. And then Tinks summed it up really well too. And she said, everyone wants to have a village. No one wants to be a villager. And I just want to say one more time, Tinks said this. Okay. I love your Sunday. Okay. I love your Sunday at Craig's. No, she said everyone wants to have a village. No one wants to be a villager. And it's so true. And she went on to basically say that, like people have started, and I don't know if I'm going to get some flack for this, if this is going to be a hot take. People have started like therapizing their lives slightly too much. Like, yes, have your boundaries, queen. Yes, like protect your peace. Yes, like, you know, like self-care. But I do fear, and Tink said this, that we might be self-caring and protecting our peace and putting up boundaries a little too much. And it's almost, we're slightly teetering into the just like you're being selfish category. And she said like, you know, go to the kid's birthday party that you don't want to go to. Like, show, of course, yes, if you were seriously like anxiety ridden about something, you actually cannot make something work, and it will make your life hectic and horrible to do so, sure. But if you really are just like, you know what, I do not want to fucking go to this, and there was a time in my life where I would have showed up for that, and I don't want to fucking go. No, bring it back. Bring back going to shit that you don't want to go to, because that's what friends do. And that's what Tink said, like, being a good friend is going to shit and showing up for shit that you don't want to do sometimes. Like, yes, protect your peace. Yes, don't spread yourself too thin. I was guilty of that. And I think in my life, I've gotten better about, you know, not over-promising and under-delivering, or not over-promising and then using my friends as a sounding board. That was something I was really guilty of. Like saying yes to too much stuff and giving too much to other people, and then my poor friends and family were the ones that had to hear me bitching about it 24/7. And they were like, I just like, this is not fun for us. And I don't know why you even said yes to all this stuff. And now we just have to sit here and listen to you bitch about it. So I get that, not spreading yourself too thin, not doing too much, but bring back like slightly lame shit that you have to do for your friends sometimes. Like there's nothing else out there like good, loyal friendships. And when you foster those and you nurture those, like something that I think is one of the biggest flexes of my life. And I know I laugh and I joke a lot and I'm like, I'm so funny, I'm so whatever. But like the biggest flex of my entire life is my friendships. Like it's why like I'm even laughing. I'm like, no new friends. I'm happy to have a new friend. Like Danielle, if you're listening, you probably don't listen to my podcast. I like love you. So glad we're becoming friends. But it's such a flex to have had the same friends, like core group of friends since I was in 7th grade. Like those bitches are riding for me. They have seen me in so many different facets of my life, and they still love me and they still show up for me. And I adore them because I pour into them too, you know? And then I have the friendships with Taylor and Mary Carlisle and like all my friends in Nashville, Kyle, like all these people, Mark Block, like that I have loved and adored since I moved here. Jenica, like that was a new friend. And now I'm like, oh my God, she said the other day, like we've been friends for 8 years, 9 years. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, that's crazy. And it's such a flex. It's such a flex to pour into your friends and to have these friendships and to keep them and to care for them. Care for your fucking people, dude. And that is the flex of the century. Your family, you know, you can hate your family one day and despise them the next and love them the next and not talk to them for this time amount. Your family's your family. You know what I'm saying? Like you will always, that's the one good thing about them. They're there. You can kind of fuck around a little bit more with your family, but your friends, it's so important to just be there for them because they don't have to be there for you. They're not like your blood family, okay, that you got to see on Thanksgiving every year. So protect your peace, protect your, you know, boundaries, but show up for your fucking friends. I like that I saw that recently, creating a resurgence on social media. I have been using Merit Beauty ever since I discovered them through one of my friends online, and I am seriously obsessed. Now, my favorite person ever, Rachel Bushwhack, she had on the most incredible lip combo, and I was like, what is that? She was like, girl, have you not heard of Merit Beauty? And I was like, no. And then I started looking into them, okay? And then they started sponsoring this podcast, and I said, okay, I am involved. I love this. Merit Beauty is amazing because we've all had this situation where we feel like we need like 100 million different things to have an elevated makeup look. No. Merit kind of does it all in one, and I love it. Also, It's Black Friday. It's Cyber Monday. The sales are on. And while most brands have sales throughout the year, Merit only has one, and it's now. I'm on their website right now. I'm about to stock up. Literally, they sponsor this podcast, and I'm going to stock up more because I'm going to take advantage of this. I love it. We've all been there, that moment where all of your favorite makeup products run out at the same time. And typically replenishing them all can really drain the bank. But now with Merit's annual sale, they are here to help. So get all of your favorites while you can. I personally am obsessed. And you guys ask me all the time, and that's not fake influencer jargon where I'm like, you guys are always asking. You really do ask about this specific lip combo that I got from my friend Rachel. And she uses and now I do too, the Merit Signature Lip Liner. Now it is in color Bespoke. They have a ton of color, but that Bespoke is that really gorgeous, like pink brown. And honestly, I would say that it only works for whenever I have a spray tan, but it doesn't. It works when I'm pale, when I have a spray tan. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous color. And then the gloss I use on top of it, I love. It's in their color Twin Set. It is so amazing. Now, something else I'm obsessed with is their Flush Balm. It's a cheek color, but you can also use it on your lips. You can really kind of use it all over. I love it. It's just going to melt into your skin for that really like lit from within color. It's going to stay flush all day. Now for that one, I'm trying to use a color that makes more sense with my pale skin when I don't have a spray tan. It's usually $30. It's $24 right now with their sale. I use the color Archival. It's like a very cool mauve. I am obsessed. I love it all day. And also, if you don't want to wear makeup all day, no problem, okay? Because Merit's Great Skin Serum is all you need. It instantly hydrates and plumps for a fresh, dewy look. They have incredible skincare. Plus, Merit's products are clean, vegan, cruelty-free, made with nourishing skincare ingredients that leave your skin looking better long before taking your makeup off. I love it so much. So Merit's annual sale is on now until December 1st. Get 20% off site-wide. I'm literally about to go use this right now. Plus, you get a gift with purchase with each order while supplies last. So hop to it, okay? I'm recording this ad, and I'm going to go to meritbeauty.com. That's meritbeauty.com, MERIT beauty.com, meritbeauty.com. I did get my Christmas lights put up, and let me tell you something. One of our neighbors said something so funny. One thing about Taylor, she's always helping elevate me. She's always making me feel slightly bad in order for me to do something. And I swear when I say that, y'all are gonna be like, that's toxic. It's not. Like, she is a real friend. Like, I try to be better about that because she doesn't ever say stuff that like hurts my feelings, but she does say stuff that like, I'm like, damn, she really had the balls to say that. Like, I don't like that on you. Like, that doesn't look good. Like a real friend, you know? And she does it mostly, honestly, with my house stuff because, you know, as you guys know, I have fantastic style. I designed this whole place, but like, I just do wrong things. Like, I'll hang curtains and she'll be like, I can't tell if you're being serious. Did you mean to hang them there? And I'm like, yes. And she's like, okay, yeah, it's so wrong. And I'm like, fuck, okay. Like, she just really calls me out and helps me out with like random shit, but she doesn't have a lot of bedside manner when it comes to it. So anyways, we get our Christmas lights up. If you guys are putting Christmas lights up on your house, you know it costs a small fortune for whatever reason to hang Christmas lights up on your house. But I said, we're doing it. We're hosting Christmas this year. My whole family's coming here. You know, we have Le Bébé des, and it's going to be fabulous. And it's going to be Christmas, damn it. Plus, I live next door to Taylor. Hers is going to be fabulous. Mine must be fabulous. All right. So keeping up with the Joneses for real, keeping up with the Monicos. So she does like such a beautiful Christmas lights. I have my guy come out. He quotes us. They were wonderful. I'm going to give him a shout out. I don't know if you live in the Tennessee area, but Chamberlain Lawn Care, they were fantastic. They have a really cool concept where you buy the Christmas lights the first year. I don't know if this is a Ponzi scheme. Like, is this going to be cheaper for me next year? I don't know. I'm going to have my ears to the ground on this. So they better not be fucking around with me. Basically, they're like, it'll be, you know, a normal price this year because all other companies lease the lights to you, whereas we will sell the Christmas lights to you, which is true. Like, Taylor's like, yeah, they give you the Christmas lights or they can keep them, whatever, but the next year you just pay for like install and labor. So I'm like, that's a pretty good concept, but this is the first year I've worked with them, so it's gonna be expensive. So I get the quote. I'm like, but like, you know, you got to do it. They put the lights up. I love them. I did green and red. This is a little tiny tip. If you're like getting green and red, if you're wanting that nostalgic vibe, ask your light people to do green and red. Ask them further if they can do 2 green, 2 red, 2 green, 2 red, because you see it more from afar. And I'm totally stealing this from the light people. They brought this up to me because I was like green, red, and they were like, no, it like loses itself. You kind of just like get lost in the sauce and it looks like it's all blending together. When you do 2 red and then 2 green, it looks great. So, anyways, we get that done. And my tip for you, if you're doing the green and red, is to not include white. A lot of Christmas people will do green, red, white. That looks like, and I mean this in the kindest way possible, a stunning, gorgeous Mexican restaurant. It just does. When you do green, red, white, it doesn't look Christmassy. It looks like the Hispanic flag. And if that is what you were going for, like shouts out to La Culturistas, shouts out to Tostadas, shouts out to the Hispanic community. I love you so much. But if you're trying to do that nostalgic Christmas vibe, nix the white and just do red and green. Okay. And the last thing I will say is I get this quote. I'm like, that is crazy, but we have to do it. You know, it must be done. Taylor calls me. She goes, what are you, broke? I said, what the fuck? She goes, you're not doing the sides of your house? I said, damn it, what do you mean? She goes, the sides. You're just doing the front facade. I said, fuck. I'll do the sides. So I do the sides. Also, Taylor's going to kill me for saying that. She was obviously kidding. Like, but like, you know, it does look better with the sides. So I do the sides. But then I says to myself, Taylor has her windows done. I don't want to do the windows, but like, I'm going to go do the downspouts. I said, also just add the downspouts. He said, okay. Then I get reefs put up because I love reefs on windows. He does the reefs. They start putting them up. I said, whoa, those are kind of small. Do you have bigger ones? He said, we have 36-inch ones, but I'm going to be honest, it'd be more expensive. I said, add it to the tab. Okay, add it to the tab. He said, all right. He said, what if we don't do XYZ? Because I asked him to do something crazy, but we do lights all the way up your path and around your garden and around your big magnolia tree. I said, oh, love that idea. Let's still do what I said. And let's also do that. Add it to the tab. He said, okay, you guys, this isn't Jason Tartick's podcast where he like asks you to say like really personal numbers out loud about your finances, but I'm just going to be completely honest with you, because something that y'all all credited me for and y'all were like slay queen, slay, was I did this huge, massive thing for Halloween and for the fall where I had like an absurd amount of pumpkins and hay bales and all this kind of shit all over my yard. And it looked like $1,000 job. And it was literally like $325. And everyone was like, that is so impressive. Mostly because I did it all myself. I went and got the pumpkins, got the hay, put them out, did everything, the mums, all the stuff. My Christmas lights cost $5,000. Courtney, I see your face. Bruh, I don't know. I got lost in the sauce. I was trying not to keep up with Taylor, but like, I think I was just like, it can be magical. It could be more magical. It could be magical. And I really actually, James is outside. I think he is not listening to me, but I did not tell him how much I spent on this. Like, he would actually fucking murder me if he knew that we spent this much on Christmas lights. And then I'd have to tell him like, listen, babe, now we own the lights. Now next year we just pay for install. It is fucking stupid. And if you're listening to this, sorry, Courtney is holding my daughter and my daughter's watching me podcast and she's smiling at me and bye, I gotta go. Oh my God, it's so sweet. You like listening to mommy talk? You're sure going to hear a lot of it. Okay, anyways, yeah, the Christmas lights were crazy, but one of our neighbors was so funny. She goes, wow, because at nighttime now when you look at me and Taylor's houses together, they just look insane. Like they look stunning, cool, magical, whatever, but like they also look fucking crazy. It looks like that, what's that movie where they go back and forth, they fight each other? Is it Deck the Halls? It's Jenica posted about it because when Jenica came for my birthday, she drove here and we all rode together and she was like, it literally looks like you and Taylor got in a fight, like more. And like, in a way we kind of did, except for it was just me fighting myself because Taylor has already always had these lights up and I was just like, how can I make mine more like hers? But one of our neighbors was so funny. They were like, it looks like you guys got into a battle of who could have more lights. And one of you was like, whose can be seen from outer space? Like, mine can. This podcast episode is brought to you by Squarespace. Guys, I love Squarespace. I talk about it all the time. I'm one of those freaks. Now, I will say this. It's pretty impressive that I didn't pin my wedding photos to the top of my profile. But something that's not impressive about me is that I literally continue to pay for a website for my wedding because I love it so much. I created it with Squarespace because I could not find anything out there that made designing a website easy because listen, I'm no coder. I cannot figure this stuff out. And all these like template ready websites that I found for your wedding, they were just whack. Like they were not good. They were really basic. And then whenever I thought about hiring someone to make a website, I'm like, what am I doing? It's just my wedding website to tell people where to go and what to do. Like it's too much. I don't want to pay someone to do all this stuff. And then one of my friends said, have you tried Squarespace? And I said, I don't know how to do all that. And she goes, no. Squarespace gives you templates, but like makes it very user friendly for someone who doesn't know how to code. I said, sign me up. So I did. I gave it a shot. And oh my gosh, I was so impressed. Squarespace has so much more if you were building a business or if you want to advertise for something, not just your wedding, but everyone does ask me like, where did you get your wedding website done? And when I say I did it myself, they're always very impressed. And Squarespace was that girl. It made it very easy. Now they got plenty of stuff, including Design Intelligence, which is combining really 2 decades of industry-leading design expertise with cutting-edge AI technology to unlock your strongest creative potential. Now, design intelligence, that's going to empower anyone to build this beautiful, more personalized website tailored to their unique needs and craft a very bespoke digital identity to use across one's entire online presence. Something else I think is really cool is they have SEO tools, so you can get discovered really fast with integrated SEO tools. That's like your search engines, So you want to pop up first with your website. Squarespace website is optimized to be indexed with meta description. So that's going to be an auto-generated sitemap and more. So you show up more often to more people in global engine search results. It's just amazing. I love that. They also have sell content, and Squarespace makes it really easy to sell access to content on your website. So like online courses, blogs, videos, and memberships, you can earn that reoccurring revenue by gating your content behind a paywall. We love a paywall. I should put all my shit behind a paywall, but I'm not going to. So simply you just set the price and choose whether to charge a one-time fee or subscription for access. It's amazing. I genuinely really, really love Squarespace. It's just iconic. So if you guys want to check out Squarespace, head to squarespace.com/probably, and you're going to get a free trial. When you're ready to launch, by the way, just use code probably again, and you're going to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. It's amazing. So head to squarespace.com/probably for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use that code probably again to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. We are going to go on I'm trying not to talk too much baby stuff, but I also to explain to Courtney that like my life is just like motherhood life, like baby. So it's like all that's in my brain, but I'm trying to be more than that, but it's really hard. Okay. It's really hard to be more than that because it's just who I am now. I remember I got a bunch of beautiful gifts for, baby shower for Daisy, etc. And I got a bunch of bibs, right? And in my brain, bibs were for food. Right? Bibs, correct me if I'm wrong. I always ask Courtney because she's mom. Bibs for food, right? Yeah. Okay, no. Yes, but no. The little silicone ones and like bibs, yes, when they eat. But like I got a bunch of these like really beautiful bibs. And I asked Taylor, I said, I'm confused. I got so many bibs. I do not remember your kids wearing bibs. And she goes, yeah, mine didn't. They weren't really drooly babies. And I said, oh, I'm so dumb. Bibs for drool, bibs for food and for drool. And she was like, yeah, bibs for drool. And like, I just never, you either have drooly babies or you don't. She's like, my kids drooled a little bit when they were like teething or getting a new tooth, but for the most part, they didn't drool. And I thought to myself, thank God I didn't have a drooly baby. I cannot express to you how drooly my baby is. And I don't think she's teething. I really don't. I don't think she's teething yet. She's 10 weeks. She's 11 weeks tomorrow. And you know what? It's fine because there's something that you realize. I don't know if I've already talked about this. I love babies. I've always loved babies. I've always loved children. Something that I find extraordinarily gross is babies like boogers, eye boogers, crusties. Now, I'm not going to lie. I usually and here, this could be a hot take. I know kids get sick and you can't wipe their nose raw and all that kind of stuff happens, whatever. But to me, if your baby's got shit all over its face, nose, mouth, whatever, I'm judging the parent. All right. You clean your baby's face. All right. And something that I always thought was gross was the idea of picking it out. And I think this about dogs too. When dogs have eye boogers and their parents, thank God, because I respect their parents, dog parents for this, they get the eye boogers out of the dog's eyes. I'm like, bleh, I'm going to fucking throw up. It's so gross, but it must be done. I thought for sure, I was going to be grossed out, but I just had to make sure my baby has a clean face. You become a mom. And I know I've said this to two of my friends and they're like, Shannon, it's because she came out of you. She is you. Picking her nose is picking my nose. Picking her eye boogers is picking my eye boogers. Wiping her drool is literally my spit. I could lick it off her face and I would not care. It is so crazy. You become a mom. And I know I still have many gross things ahead of me in life. And, I probably won't be saying the same thing, singing the same tune about vomit. But there is something like picking her boogers and stuff. I used to see those things, those suction things where people would suck the snot. Now, thank God they've progressed and there's other devices and stuff. But I would think, how could literally anyone do that? I get it. It's your child. You just do. You just get it and it's not gross. So I have a drooly baby, but I don't care. She's so fucking cute. I don't care. Guys, it's the Yap-A-Thon 3000. Come back next week for some more Yap-A-Thons. Yap-A-Daddle-Doo. Okay? I'm going to leave you with this last little nugget because Thanksgiving was this past week. I have a hot take that I said to Courtney. You know when people are like, I have a hot take, and then it's like, I don't like pretzels. And you're like, the fuck? That's not a hot take. Like, that's an opinion. And then I asked Courtney, I said, do you know that viral video on TikTok where the girl's like, call me crazy, but I hate store-bought pesto? She's like, no, I don't know. And I'm like, oh, it's such a reference in social media. Call me crazy, but I've never liked store-bought pesto. It's like, okay, queen, you're fucking crazy. But I actually think this is a hot take. And I asked Courtney, she said, I do think that's a hot take. I don't fuck with Friendsgivings. I don't like them. I don't think they're necessary. And I will give a caveat and I will say, if you are someone who does not have a family situation that is ideal to then go to on Thanksgiving, if you are going to your friends on Thanksgiving, if you're inviting your friends to your Thanksgiving, or if you have a bunch of friends who hate their family, so y'all all do a big Friendsgiving, or on Thanksgiving, on the day of Thanksgiving, or maybe you live far away, so all your friends get together on Thanksgiving and you do a Friendsgiving kind of vibe. To me, by the way, that's still just fucking Thanksgiving. I don't like Friendsgivings. We're already doing it. We're already doing it on Thanksgiving. We're already busting our balls making all these dishes. We're already showing up. And I know I just did this whole thing about showing up for your friends and doing whatever, but like, okay, I don't know why we're doing another Thanksgiving. Let's all just get together. Let's all go to dinner. Let's all have a dinner. Someone host it. Why are we doing the whole song and dance and doing a Friendsgiving and going around telling each other what we're thankful for? Shoot a text on Thanksgiving. I do. On Thanksgiving, I usually text some of my friends and say, I'm thankful for you because blah, 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 blah. Like, why are we making the fucking casseroles and bringing them to our friend's house? And by the way, because you're bringing them to your friend's house, all that shit's fucking cold. Also, I haven't known my friends my whole life. I don't really know if they're cooking this shit the way I want them to cook this shit. And I can't say something because they're not my family. They're my friends. And I'm thankful they brought it. I don't want to come to your Friendsgiving. Stop inviting me to Friendsgivings. I don't want to be at Friendsgivings. I don't like them. I think that they're a waste of time. They're a waste of resources. And they always fall on my birthday, God damn it. And it's about me. And I want my birthday. Okay, that's all I have to say. Hot take. Bye.